On this week's episode of Fishing 411 TV, Mark and Jake Romanak are targeting one of their favorite species and fishing destinations. Avid king salmon anglers simply can't beat the springtime action found on Lake Ontario near the famed Niagara Bar. This iconic piece of bottom structure holds baitfish and crazy numbers of salmon that show up here to put on the feed bag. Mark and Jake use trolling spoons and plugs presented on lead core line in their quest to showcase some of the best salmon fishing on the planet.
On this week's episode, we're on Lake Ontario. I think you can tell by the drag, we're hooked up to a king salmon. Oh, yeah, this thing is just thumping. You know, this king bit on a slide diver. Oh, he's running right at the boat. This thing bit on a slide diver. And if you don't know what a slide diver is, it's basically a normal dipsy diver, which is super popular for salmon fishing, but we can lengthen the leader on it and we can get those nice long 20, 30 foot leaders. But once that fish bites, the diver slides down, so you don't have to worry about netting that fish at the back of the boat. It's one of my favorite ways to catch salmon, because when you got that diver setting that Cisco rod holder right there and it just starts screaming, man, right there gets your blood pumping. Whew! This thing just started screaming out line.
All right, let me see if I can get in here.
Oh, he saw the boat.
Oh, he decided he didn't like it so much. Whoa! Whoa! Through the diver, through the downrigger.
Did you go around it? There you go, you went around it.
That's king salmon for you. Throw him a little right, Jake. I got him.
Got him in the scoop.
Nice job. That's a little firecracker right there, I'm telling you, man.
All right, the last minute you want under the downrigger, I put the rod underneath it. That's what I love about salmon fishing, man. They just never quit, right to the boat.
They don't quit, they don't quit.
All right, let's get him up here. That's a good way to start it off, huh, Dad?
Oh, I love it.
Beautiful.
I love it. Nothing beats king salmon in the springtime, man, nothing.
Beautiful Lake Ontario king. We'll box him. Hopefully we'll have a whole bunch more of these to show you today. All right, so that fish just came on a slide diver. We kind of explained a little bit what a slide diver is, but let me show you. First of all, the business end is a spoon. We caught that king on a mag spoon. This one's a silver streak spoon by Wolverine Tackle there. And we're gonna go ahead and put this back in the water. And let me show you how this works. Basically, you have a long leader, and that's the benefit of it. In this clean water in the Great Lakes, that long leader is huge. Then we're gonna flip that spoon in the drink, and it's gonna start going out to the side. Meanwhile, I can play off this leader and make it as long as I want. If I want a 10-foot leader, 15-foot leader, 20-foot leader, you're gonna have basically whatever length leader you want. So, you know, right now in this clean water in the Great Lakes, I like to do those 25, 30-foot leaders. A slide diver lets you do that. But basically what you see now, I have the fluorocarbon to my braid backer, and that's a double uni knot that I have that connects that. And then all I have to do is I lift this arm up, make sure the line is in there, click it over, and I can send it out to the side. Now what I have is a diver that's got a 30-foot long leader. When I catch a king on that and it releases, it'll pop, release, and that diver will slide down the line to a barrel swivel that I have. That way when a small boat like I'm in right now, I can have those long leaders and not have to worry about hand over handing those kings at the back of the boat. The slide diver is a slick way to put kings in the boat. Okay, right there, 100 back. That's what we did to catch that fish the last time. Now I'm going to go ahead and just set it in this cradle style rod holder. And the benefit of that rod holder is when a king's ripping on it, you can basically just grab that rod and lift straight up. A tube style holder, you have to pull the rod straight out. And between the diver and having a big king scream on the end of the line, it's really hard to get it out of a tube holder. So a cradle holder makes it easy. You just drop that rod in, it stays level right next to the tip of the rod is right by the water. And that right there is the perfect setup for catching kings.
That is a beautiful thing. The rigger fires. I just reset that rigger. And we've got a pretty good mix today of presentations going on out here. Of course, we got some lead core out there. We got divers, downriggers. And we're mixing up our lures a little bit as well. The first fish came on a spoon, and this one is going to be on a mag-lip plug. What do we got here?
Let me get the net on you for you, Dad.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He saw you.
Oh, nice coho.
All right. I'm smiling because I like to eat coho. They are one of the best eaten fish in the Great Lakes. Just a little guy here, but that's absolute fish candy right there. And he just jumped all over that mag-lip. Well, we just got that little coho. I caught him here on a mag-lip. And as you notice, when I threw that fish in the live well, he was bloody. And a lot of that blood gets on my lures. And I want to try and get that blood off, get any foreign odors off the bait, clean it up a little bit before we set it back out. And so I'm just going to scrub him down just a little bit. And I'm going to rinse him off here real quick. Now what I've got a clean plug that I'm dealing with. I'm going to put a little bit of super gel on here. Just a little dab on the nose of it here. That's plenty of scent right there. And the one that seems to work the best for us out here for salmon fishing, bloody tuna. I know that sounds weird, but I'm telling you, these salmon really like that odor. So now all I have to do is set that baby back, put him back on my downrigger ball, and we'll see if we can't duplicate that catch.
Special considerations provided by Eagle Claw, the only fish hooks made in America. Additional considerations provided by Fish Hawk Electronics. Trolling without a fish hawk is called boating.
Hey, Dad, the rigger's bouncing.
Get him.
Oh, yeah, hooked up. I love catching fish on downriggers. Oh, man, that rigger just was bouncing like crazy and grabbed a hold of it. Boom. Oh, yeah, Dad.
You needing a landing net, are you?
Oh, he's really green. You know, I was actually thinking this fish was a lake trout. It's by the way he bit. But I just happened to get this fish close to the boat and see that he was pretty silver. He did not like the look of the boat.
I don't like the fact he's in front of the downriggers.
I can't get him to turn around, boss. There we go. Maybe we got him there. There we go. Now you're going back to where you're supposed to be, buddy.
All right, can I duck underneath here?
Yep, and we're gonna have you scoop him here pretty quick because he's ready to go.
I'm ready if you are.
There we go, scoop him.
All right, that's a good start, Nick.
Nice fish, Dad.
That's a good start.
Whew.
You know, the whole thing about fishing salmon on structure is it needs to be a team approach. And today what we're going to do is Jake's going to concentrate on driving. He's operating the electric motor, which we're using for steerage. And I'm going to spend most of the time setting lines today. And the reason for that is that I can control the back of the boat. He can keep us on the fish where we need to be. And together we're going to make an effective team today. It never gets old watching those boards go back. I love watching an offshore board go back. What I got set up this time is I'm stacking lead core on my side, and so I've got multiple different colors of lead core. This happens to be the outside board, which is a 5-color, and 5-color runs down about 20 feet. So right now, this water temperature is cool enough on the surface that these fish can be literally anywhere from the surface all the way down to 100 feet or more. So, but right now it looks like we've had a couple of high fish and one deeper fish on a rigger. So a little too early today to say that we have a pattern figured out. But the good thing is we're catching fish.
Well, I marked the fish on the graph and I went to go raise the rigger up, and as soon as I touched the rigger, poof, it flipped
fired,
up and king on, man. We're gonna have to work together on this one, Dad, with 2 fish.
Well, that's not a problem because I'm pretty sure what I'm dealing with here is a coho. It's a fairly small fish. So we're gonna go ahead and concentrate on yours.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, but he's right here. Just woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! jumping all over the place. Man, do I love king salmon.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Wow.
drag mine out there.
Look at him over there. Whoa, Daddy's gonna get in your leg cords now.
No, 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 you're okay. You're okay.
Look at that drag. Just sizzling. You don't tell a king salmon where to go. He tells you. And hopefully, we tucked him
Now he's
out
trying
enough.
to get in your leg cord.
He has been all over the place. Front of the boat, back of the boat. He checked out all of my leg cord. Oh no. One of the cool things about Hope, he looks like he's in that leg cord, Dad.
All right. Middle one?
He's in that middle one, yeah. It doesn't mean that kings don't fight hard when the water's warm on the surface, but when they hit that warm water, it's almost kind of like a slap in the face, and they don't necessarily fight as hard. But this water is 50 degrees on the surface and 46 degrees 50 foot down. So there's not a big temperature change. So they are spunky from the time they bite right to the time they get to the boat. Well, this is what I'm going to do, Dad.
You're gonna go underneath
I
this?
think I'm going to try to get him in front of that. This is very unorthodox, but I'm going to try to get him in front of my steel line
And then go underneath it?
and then go underneath him.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do this.
Well, I guess you got to get creative when you're fighting king salmon. So, hey, he's close now.
I think
Maybe
we
all that getting tangled in the other lines tired him out.
Oh, we got another one on.
Yep. Let's get. That's a triple header we got going right now. Is what we got going. A little
Go
closer.
ahead and scoop him, Dad. That's a good king right there.
Okay.
I'll take that any day.
That's one. Now we got a board ripping, and then I still got my fish. Hold yours up for the camera, Jake, and I'll work on this little coho for the time being. It's every man for himself right now. That's the reason we like the Niagara area and coming out here and fishing Niagara Bar. This fishing is incredible. If you like fast action on salmon, you're not going to beat it. You are not going to beat it.
What a beautiful Lake Ontario king. That's a nice 4-year-old right there. You know, this is that May time frame that we're fishing right now. So a thick fish like this, you know, this fish is going to be mid-20s come August when the fall fishing comes. But we want to talk about this one all we want, but if you look over my shoulder, that board's buried behind me. So hopefully I can double down and catch another big one like this, huh?
In case you were wondering what happened to mine, not so much. Okay, so this guy is lightly hooked. I'm just going to drop him over the side. Away he goes. Now that we're under the third fish. All right.
It's got to be a 2-year-old king,
Just a
huh?
little guy here. Nice mixed fish though. Those will eat really, really good, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Pair
So-
of kings and a coho. It's like the Romanak crew is going to eat just fine tonight.
Yes, sir.
Special considerations provided by Daiwa Corporation and Motor Guide. Fight fish, not your trolling motor. Special considerations provided by the Ultimate Sport Show Tour, Michigan's elite sport shows. Eagle Claw presents the 411 on fishing.
Hi, I'm Steve Lynch, Vice President of Procure Bait Sense, and today I'm going to explain to you a little bit about why Procure is better and different from all the rest of the scent companies. Basically, we started in 1984 producing just a few oils and some sauces, and now it's generated in over 320 different SKUs. And primarily what we do is we take real bait, flash freeze it, ship it into Salem, Oregon, and then press it for oil or grind it up for the gels. And we're buying 7 different baits from the Midwest here and flash freezing them, processing them in Salem. So basically, if the fish are feed on alewives and you're using our alewife, you're just gonna help make your lures more attractive to the fish. We also add pure UV and a bite stimulant to all of our oils and our gels. So for lures, we recommend that you use a gel base because this will stick on anything, whether it's an artificial, soft plastic, hard lure, or jig, that you should be using the gel. If you're using bait, you should be injecting or marinating with oil. And then we have 8 SKUs of the bait wax. that are for the freshwater and the saltwater. And this will stick onto anything artificial or hard plastic and not make a mess in the boat. It'll stay where you put it. You just put a thin bead on the lure and it'll last about 35 minutes putting out scent. The super gel is really simple to use. All you do is you just put a thin bead of the products on it. You don't need to put a lot. Some people put more than others, but just a thin bead right on the bottom of the lure, and as the lure is kicking in the water, it's dispersing scent all around. You can take your finger and smear it if you want to make a thin bead, but I don't like to touch it, so I just put a thin bead right from the bottle, put on there, and this will last about 35 minutes putting out scent. And then before I go to reapply it, I'll wipe it dry with a shop rag or the boat towel, and then reapply it, and it will last much longer.
You know, if you decide you want to get into this sinking line game, either lead core or maybe copper line or this new weighted steel, you're also going to find that you're going to need planer boards to get them out to the side. That's the best way to fish these. And for our money, if you're going to fish lead core, anything from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors all the way down to 10 colors, the board of choice is going to be the OR12 from Offshore. It's plenty big to handle anything up to 10 colors. But if you decide you're going to start pulling weighted steel or maybe copper line, you're going to have a bigger board. It's heavier and has more resistance. And for that, we recommend the SST Pro Magnum. It's a larger board and it's designed to pull that bigger, heavier gear. Those two boards get it done here on the Great Lakes. This week's episode was featured out of the Niagara region in Lake Ontario. And this is a place that we fish frequently. And there are two ports that I suggest that you take a look at. You can look at Lewiston, New York, and you can also look at Wilson Harbor. They're about 11 nautical miles apart. And realistically, it may sound like you're fishing the same fish, but actually you're not. There's two different geographic areas there, and the structure is different, and the fishing is a little different. But between those two places, you're almost certain you're going to find good king salmon fishing.
I never even saw that rigger pop, Dad. It just heard just screaming out line. Turn the clicker, whoa, jumping all over the place. That's pretty cool. That fish must have came 5 feet out of the air. Wow. Hey, Dad?
Yep.
What I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need you to
Clip that slider off?
Just clip it off and then it'll slide down.
It's on the main spoon, not the staffer here.
The rigger bite, no! Take it off, quick, 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 quick. You're coming right at me.
He stuck me with a spoon here, dude.
You're swimming right at me here. He's super green still.
Yeah, tell me about it. I got a razor sharp spoon in my hand.
Is it still in your hand?
Yeah. Woohoo! The jumper.
Is it hooked in your hand?
No. There we go.
Let it go.
I'm gonna let that slide down.
Let go. There we go. We're getting caught back up to him here. He is just. There's no organized anything in the back deck of a salmon boat. It's chaos with some cool things that are happening in between, but man. It's got a little quiet here, and boom, that rigger went right off. All right, Dad, I think
Maybe
I got him.
3 times is the charm, huh?
I think I got him this time here. There we go. You ready? It's coming up now.
Oh. That was a little unorthodox. Came up under the kicker motor.
He's all over the place, man. Man, that king fought like a 50-pound Chinook. He never quit. But what actually ended up happening is that fish must have won after that spoon, and it hooked him right on the forehead, which is technically a foul hooked fish. So this one's got to go back anyways. I couldn't catch up to him. He'd swim at the boat, and then he'd take out 100 feet of line and everything in between. That king salmon, he's got to go back in the drink.
Special considerations provided by Trailmaster Boat Trailers and Lakeside Motorsports. Special considerations provided by Procure, ruthlessly effective bait scents.
If you're looking to plan a trip to come to the Niagara region and target salmon, I recommend sometime between the middle and the end of May. This is almost perfect timing year in and year out. Some years they bite earlier and you get a good bite earlier in May, but generally from the middle of May to the end of May, lights out, you really can't go wrong if you're targeting king and coho salmon.
So that autopilot feature teamed up with a kicker motor, got a rigger going like crazy. That's a slider fish. That's a slider fish. You saw how long I had to reel like crazy to catch up to that one. That one, basically what this rig is nothing more than a spoon hooked onto the main line, and it's just another way of getting another spoon down into the program. It's still considered one rod, but with that extra spoon out there, it just gives you that much more of a chance to hook into another king. So when that rigger released, I reeled like crazy. I finally caught up to him, and that tells me that that was a slider fish, because that offshore release will clip off the line and then slide down to the main spoon. So you got to reel like crazy to catch up to him. We're caught up now though. Woo-hoo. Whoa, he's jumping like crazy.
Man, they just don't quit, do they?
A little closer. I think we got him now, Dad. You ready? You want to reel down?
Yeah.
Lift up. Keep him coming. Keep him coming. We got him.
I got him.
Nice king, Dad.
That is one of the better ones of the day. That is
Beautiful
a beautiful
fish.
Don't get much better in the springtime than that one right there.
Let's pull this thing up here. Wow, Dad, we've really enjoyed some great salmon fishing today.
You know what? I just love it. Lake Ontario. I can't get enough of it.
You know, hey, my name is Jake Romanek. This is Mark Romanek. You've been watching Fishing 411 television. I hope you learned a thing or two about salmon fishing. We'll see you here, same time, same place, next week. Whew, we are going to be eating well tonight, Dad.
Closed captioning provided by Lakeside Motorsports, Michigan's premier marine and power sports dealer. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Company, Evinrude Outboards, Starcraft Marine, Cisco Fishing Systems, Yakima Bait, Jay's Sporting Goods, Niagara Falls, USA, Smooth Move Seats, Lowrance Electronics, and by Precision Trolling Data.
It looks like a plastic bag full of water.
Get the net. A little closer. Keep coming, a little closer.
You watch that spoon, don't get you in the face.
Oh, yeah! You got a goldfish in a bag, Dad!